Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Well, hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxford. On the show this evening is the senior service. Bridgeman and Albert, evening, boys.
Evening, Bridge, evening, Oxford. How you two doing?
Well, good evening, Albert. Magic to hear your voice again. And of course to yourself, Oxford, good evening. And the techie boys in the background, a big good evening to you guys. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
Right, do you want to go straight to the quiz, the tune? Oh, what do you want to do, Albert?
I'd rather sit and have a drink, to be honest with you.
Are you saying that our football team is driving us out to drink, mate?
It is indeed, mate. It is indeed. It's a privilege to support them. It really is. It's rough and smooth, mate. Rough and smooth.
Yes. The roller coaster. Bridgeman, how are you? They've heard from me and Albert, so how are you, mate? Well,
I'm okay. Thank you very much. I hope you're okay.
yes.
I'm still quite numb after last night, so I'll wait till yourself and Albert start talking about the game itself, you know. But I'm doing well. Thanks very much.
Good, mate. Well, listen, Albert, as we said last night, we started the game okay and arguably had a chance. Hard to believe, a nice touch with Dessers, and he makes a chance and he doesn't finish it. He doesn't hit it hard enough for me. The boy manages to block it. And in between that and the McCausland goal, I'll say it how I see it. And I've not watched any of it back. I thought we were awful. And I put a lot on the players. I'm putting some on the manager. So collectively, they all got it wrong. I didn't agree with some of the selections. I don't understand bringing young McCausland back for that game. I know Cherny's a straight replacement, but I just don't think young Ross is going to cut it with. He's got ability. We've seen that. You saw that in Malmo, but he's maybe not good enough. But it wasn't just him. I mean, the whole front line was awful. They were right on top of our defence. And we weren't great. And then there's a big hole, so the ball keeps coming back all there. And we were struggling. They got a goal. They hit the post. They missed a penalty. You know, and I know until we broke away and got that offside goal. Yeah, we could argue offside, onside, bar all day long, but it doesn't take away how poor we were between 5 minutes and 45 minutes, mate. We were awful.
There's no hide. You can't say it other than we were awful. At the end of the day, it's just about putting the work in, putting the effort in. And if you get players on the part are not prepared to do it, well, this is what you're going to get at these types of games. And we've been getting it too long. Big Balogun touched on it a couple of weeks there, saying this is no a blip. This is happening too often. It's more than a blip. And I've got to agree with him because it's time and time again. I put 95% on the players. I know there's a big call for the manager's head and get rid of him and all that. It's not going to help anything if you get rid of the manager. Absolutely nothing will help. It might make everybody feel better, but it's not going to help the club and it's not going to help the young players that he's brought in. Just abandon them to whoever. And I heard the call for McInnes. Oh, come on, he's a prick, mate. Come on. We can do better than McInnes. No, I mean, Clement's a better manager than McInnes. Come on. It's there's certain things need changed all over the place, all through the club. So sacking the manager, I don't think is an option, mate. I think we should get that nonsense out of his right away. He's got to stay and see his time through, mate. If nothing else, for stability within the whole infrastructure, the whole structure of the club. He's right on that. It's madness that we're going to try and just keep sacking managers. That's no the Rangers way. It's just no.
I get that, Albert. I get that, Albert. But it's a results-driven industry, and you can throw performances into that as well. Now, if we were as poor as we were in the first half, and we got the second goal and won 2-1, some of these conversations don't take place. You've made the same performance, but you've ended up with a different result, Bridge. Results-driven industry, and the results away from home in the last 6 months, I think it's back to about March, the last 7 months, have been, once again, appalling, Bridgman.
Yeah, I mean, this season alone, we've played, 5 games away from home, and we've won 1, drawn 1, and lost 3. I mean, I can't believe it. We've only played 10 games. It's just the whole thing's just it's just mental. That's all I've got to say. Just mental. And I don't know. For me, something has to happen, and it has to happen soon. And there's got to be something positive that comes out of it. Whatever happens, something positive must come out of it, because I don't see my club being able to withstand the pressures that we're putting on ourselves, either through poor play, and I mean it poor, not necessarily rank rotten, but we are rank rotten. But I'm putting it nicely. Poor play, very poor play in some instances, and the thought of Dessers coming out and playing for Rangers at centre forward, it makes a bit of mockery of the good centre forwards that we've had in the past. So I think the guy's got major problem, and therefore we don't have a dedicated attacker that can take the weight, grab the ball, pull it in, distribute it, and so on and so forth, the way a good centre forward could do, or indeed turn and blast it. And he scored a few goals, no doubt about that. He scored a lot of goals for us. I said a lot. He scored some goals for us. But we can't go on. We can't go through the whole season without him scoring a goal. You know what I mean? And I don't see this manager dropping him, because in his mind, probably, he's the only centre forward they've got. So I just don't see anything great happening. I don't know what's going to happen. There's a few people spoke to me today, and they've said they know what should happen, blah, 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 you know. So,
listen, I don't disagree with Albert's sentiment about Cam Heats. You've got to see the project through. But this only, listen, I'll give you my honest opinion, Albert. This only ends one way, rightly or wrongly. If you get a team of painter and decorators, and the gaffer walks in and they've made a mess, and everything's on, the paper's upside down, the painting's crap, you know the story, Bridge. You've done it often enough, right?
Absolutely.
Right, you walk in, they get their jaws, no in football. No in
football.
Look, in normal circumstances, I agree with you. And I agree with most of the punters out there who want going. I agree with all that. On a football terms, on a level playing field, I totally and utterly agree with you. But it's no level playing field, and you've got to appreciate it. And I know you're going to come out with we can't afford to keep him, and we can't afford to get rid of him. I know all that, mate. But the bottom line is, he's trying to build a squad here. He's trying to put value into the squad. And you might think playing value, that's part of it, but it's monetary value. He's trying to put money into the squad to start a process off. Now, the process is the trade model. That's there. That's all teams there. We're not inventing the wheel here. All teams there. But you need to start with something, mate. The beginning of this season, you had to get rid of all the players, all the deadwood, all the people who own big contracts, all the ones that wanted wage rises, all the nonsense, and most of them left for practically nothing. So he has no money coming in. That's the start of it, mate. He knew that, but he had to do that. What he didn't realise is the state of the club in the background, what's happening in the background. He didn't sign up for any of that. He's here to put value into the squad. Now, building a team is different from putting value into the squad. It's two separate things, mate. One has to be done first before you get a good team. You've got to put the value in the squad, so every player has got a value, and we can do transfer business, get other money in and buy better players. That's got to happen first, mate. I don't care what anybody says. Results are important, the most important thing. But you can't put the cart before the horse. You've got to do this in order. I'm afraid it's got to be done this way. We've not got any money to, before we start. We've not got any money to run about throwing 20 million, 30 millions at transfer budgets and all that. We've not got that money. We're kidding ourselves when we think we have. We need to do it the right way, and the right way is what everybody else is doing.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that argument, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Right. So, answer me this, mate. Answer me this. We're looking for a goal. We've went 2-1 down. We've ended up with one forward with nobody next to him. And we're trying to pull back again. You just keep doing what you're doing, and you've had one shot at goal the whole game. One effort at goal, mate. On target. The whole game. You've scored one, apart from that goal last night, you've scored one goal away from home this season. And that's now 5 games. 5 games, 2 goals. It ain't working all better. And what he's showing is he's tactically inept, mate.
I'm not saying he's tactically a genius or he's good at what he's doing. I'm not saying that, and I totally agree with the one goal scenario you've just painted there. It's a fact. It's there. It's black and white. You can't deny that, mate. And his tactics during the game are mince, total mince. He's bringing off players and you don't understand. I know all that. I get all that. But he's not here for that. I know he is here for that, but his primary job is to get this squad sorted out. Then we start trading. I'd said before, and I'll tell you again, he's not going to be the manager that makes a good team for us. He's not going to be the manager that takes us forward on the football terms on the park. He's not going to be the manager for that. But he is going to be the manager to put value into that squad. That's what he's here to do, mate. He's to get rid of the dross, clean it all out, and bring other players in with value. Now, every player he's brought in so far that we've actually signed, no loans, but we've actually signed, it's all worth money, mate. Every one of them are all worth money. You might not like them. You might not think they're going to be good players, or they're no good players and they're never going to be. You might think of that, but they're all worth money, every one of them. Whereas what he took over was the majority of the squad wasn't worth any money. I mean, this is a fact. Now, you've still got players to go out this door. The players that are not going to be any value. Balogun's no value. Tavernier's no value. People keep saying they're going to get transfer. Tavernier's been with us for 10 years. 10 years, by the way. Scored all 8 goals and not one offer's ever come in for him. You've got no value for Dessers. I mean, I know everybody's saying we'll get money for him, but you get a chance to get rid of him in the summer to force him out the door to go to America. He didn't want to go. He wants to stay here. You're right, he wants to stay here. He's on big wages and he's running about doing absolutely nothing. He's not going to go anywhere. Lawrence, you're not going to get any money for. So you need to get rid of him as well. And I would argue you're not going to get any money for Matondo as well. So who's going to sign a player with no wages that he never plays? It's nonsense, mate. He has to get rid of all this crap out the club. And we need to stop the drain on our resources for nothing, for no return, mate.
Can you throw Ridvan into that?
Well, Ridvan you might get money for. Probably not. Not the way we trade, probably not.
But also he's always injured, isn't he? Let's be honest.
He's always injured, mate. These are facts, mate. This is what the guy's got to deal with. But nobody's taking that into consideration because all we're concentrating is the results on the park. And rightly so, that's what we all pay our money for. We want to see Rangers winning. And we want to see us competing in all the competitions we're in. But the fact of the matter is we're in a state of play here with mismanagement for years. Football mismanagement. I don't know what's happening in the background. You don't know too much about that. You hear rumours. There's 1,000 rumours a week surrounds Rangers. So I don't know about that. But on the park, we see it with our own eyes. On the park, it's been mismanaged on the park for years, mate. It's nonsense. Beale done huge damage to the club with the crap he brought in, mate. It's not going away for that. Absolute crap for a lot of money spent at relative terms. And now we're trying to sweep all that up and clean all that up. And we've got this poor guy in. He's to do it. He's taking all the flack. Now, I agree with you. His tactics is crap. His system's crap. The strategy's crap. I agree with you all that. Football-wise. But he's no here. In my mind, he's no really primary job is to do this. His primary job is to clean it up. And that's what he's going to have to do. Somebody had to do it. But somebody's got to fall on their sword for it as well. And he'll get his jotters eventually, mate. There's no doubt about that.
I don't think the fans are going to, shall we say, buy into it too much about a strategy that says leave the manager alone and let him build the squad. I don't think they're going to buy into that, and it won't last for too long if they did. The main job of the manager is to manage the team, pick the team on the park and manage them in such a way that they can win games and get us up the league to try and win trophies. We are in no position to say we could win games. Our results are terrible. We've got 11 players on the park, and sometimes they can't pass the ball to each other, and sometimes they can't pass the ball to anybody because they go straight out of the park. So these players we've watched for a wee while now, and they're really good players individually. But for God's sake, there's something happening with the players when they're on the park, and that can only be down to the manager, surely. Like the players aren't necessarily just switching off. You got young Barron and Raskin, the two of the smallest players, possibly playing in Scotland at the moment, and they're running about marvellous for Rangers, and they're doing everything they can, but they're only two people. That's all they've got, and you get an odd, Cherny on the right's playing pretty well at the moment and scoring a couple of goals. And Bayarami puts the ball in the net yesterday. And yeah, it was just brilliant to see these goals going in. But for goodness sake, every game we play, it's murder. It's even at Ibrox, it's absolutely murder. Against St Mirren, we were turgid at times. But the same players, don't get me wrong, the same players who can turn it on in a European game and play really, really well, managed by the same manager. There's just something no right. And I don't think the club can afford the fans to turn their back on the club. Then that's possibly not going to happen.
Are you saying you don't think there's a symmetry between the manager and the team, Bridge?
Correct.
Is that such a word as us? I shouldn't say symmetry. We're used to our own shoot. That could be misconstrued.
Don't do that. Cold sweats. I break out in cold sweats.
Was that the right word? Sorry for that.
Another point I'd like to make, Bridge is right, the fans will not accept it. I totally understand what you're saying, totally understand, totally agree. But the other thing I'd like to point out about the manager, he's getting the blame for stuff like a player doesn't control a ball in the park. How's that the manager's fault? I'm not saying that that's what Bridge says, but a lot of people are saying this. How's that the manager's fault? Lawrence doesn't try to control a ball and control a ball. He loses control of the ball, as you pointed out today, and next thing the ball's in the net for the second goal. How's that the manager's fault?
Have you watched it back?
No yet, mate. But here, point this out to you. We've probably got the dearest goalkeeper in Scotland. Highest wages in Scotland playing for us. We've probably got the dearest right back, highest wages in Scotland playing for us. In his position, I'm not saying play, in his position. We've probably got the dearest left back with Ridvan in Scotland. We've probably got the dearest centre forward with the biggest wages in Scotland. We've probably got the dearest outside left, Matondo, with the biggest wages in Scotland. Now, how is it the manager's fault? When the dearest goalkeeper and the biggest wages lets a ball go through his legs. He probably have some good saves in that game, but he let the ball go through his legs for the second goal. The dearest right back, he miscontrols the ball in the area. What's he doing trying to trap a ball in an area? Where's his defensive instinct? You're outside left, you never see. Lawrence is probably the highest number 10, paid number 10. He miscontrols the ball as well. How is Clement to blame for that? I don't understand why he's getting the blame for them playing badly. McCausland's nearly set them up. We did set them up twice. We're trying to miss passing the ball up at their 18-yard box. How is that the manager's fault? He's not saying.
Was that the worst performance you've seen with young Ross?
It was, mate. There was. I like the boy. I like the boy a lot. I think there's a lot of potential in that boy. But he's got to look at that game himself and go, that's how you don't do it. I'm not playing like that ever again. What happened to the boy? I don't know. What happened to Lawrence? No, can he trap a ball? I don't know. What happens to Tavernier when he takes a brain fart and tries to control a ball in his area and miscontrols it? It goes to an Aberdeen player who puts it through the goalkeeper's legs. I don't know. It's impossible to work out what goes through their heads at times. I just don't understand them. They do some crazy things. Is it just pressure? They can't handle it. I don't know, mate. We could guess all day long, but we see with our own eyes what's happening on the park. Now, the manager's tactics to get it right or do I make changes? No, that's down to him. Mate. That is no down to players. That's down to him. But I don't blame the manager entirely, like everybody else has jumped on his case. But as you've pointed out, as a result of industry, mate, it's will end one way, but I don't think it's going to be the new. I don't think he's ready to go the new. I don't think we should sack him either. Then. That's me personally.
Listen, mate, I don't dislike Philip Clement. I'm beginning to think some of his interviews are a bit bizarre, becoming more bizarre. Pressure, does it?
Getting in the casino.
Yeah, it's getting a bit like that, mate. And the comments last night weren't great. Look, we responded well at half time. He got his team up, he changed it, he brought Sterling on, who I didn't think had a great game last night, but he just brings that physical presence. He's not going to be messed about. And we got the equaliser, and let's be honest, they were dead. They'd gone, and they got they went up the park for it, I think, for the first time in the second half. Butland did a good save, and for that came the goal, and that was all they'd done up in that whole second half. But we still had all that play, and could only muster that one effort and goal. Yes, we had opportunities. Sterling should have scored. Dessers should have arguably scored, but never even got efforts on target. So we don't create enough chances. We don't get enough players in the box. And when people do get past us, and if they do get the ball out of possession, we're all over the place. And albeit, I've got to be honest with you, it's happened every away game. Maester Clement's time. I'm not just saying this about the system because we're getting beat. I was saying this in January and February. It was worrying me. And the last time we played well domestically was against Hearts at Ibrox. It's shocking, mate. Absolutely shocking. Different players, I get that, I understand that. Wasn't that much different last night? I think who started the cup final? Butland, Tavernier, Balogun, Suter all started the cup final. In midfield, Raskin started the cup final. Half-time, Sterling come on, started the cup final. Dessers started the cup final. Yeah? Mm-hmm. It's not far away for the same team as we had in the cup final.
It failed.
Yeah, we played well in that game. We should have won it, but we didn't. Yeah.
See, that's the story. That's the story we keep. We should have won it. We could have won that. We could have done this. If what's maybe.
You'll know.
But the bottom line is
anything, mate. You'll not win anything with they two forwards up the middle, mate.
Oh, I agree with that, mate.
Yeah, the
totally agree with that.
Lawrence is gone. Lawrence is technical. He got some technical things about him are good. He can do things that's good, but out of the piece, he's not the answer. Dessers, he's not scored, I think, 7 or 8 games. And when he did, last night, his performance, I thought his performance at Kilmarnock was awful. That one last night, it was horrendous. Anyway, enough for me, mate. I think I've made my points. Bridge, if we better get these phone lines open, Mark.
Yeah, please get them on. Let's hear what other people are going to moan about.
Yeah, right. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll give you 5 minutes and we'll talk about the budget.
Right, go for it.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah. Listen, nothing would give me a greater pleasure if this manager could turn it around. If he wins on Saturday in the semi-final, gets a result in Athens, and then we go and we beat Hearts, we get to the international break, and things are looking a bit better. But I just don't know what's going to happen. It'll be it's interesting, but it's no great, Bridgeman.
Well, if we think about, in my opinion, if we think about Philip Clement and Ibrox, is Philip Clement doing one job, i.e. the manager, coach, chief coach, head coach, whatever it is, or is he doing other parts of jobs of others that aren't there, i.e. chief executive and so on and so forth? Is there a sort of wee build up there that we'll pass that work over to Philippe and he'll do it, I don't know if that's going on at Ibrox. If it is, then that's you can't weigh the manager down with that. So the board or whomever it is that's running at Rangers at the moment can't do that. They can't overload the guy with stuff that's nothing to do with the players on the park and the tactics. But it might be happening because you know what it's like work and conglomerations. They just say, well, there's somebody. There's no doing anything there. You do that, you know, thinking it's all going to the same place, but it's not. If he's having the board are having a negative impact on the manager, then we're in deep trouble. Well, we're in deep trouble anyway, but we're in deep trouble because that'll never go away then until such times as they bring in the bodies that they need, i.e. the new chairman, then the chief executive officer, or director of football. So all these three parts. I don't even know if we're ever going to get anybody, but we need three senior executive people to come into Ibrox and run it, and they're not there. So I don't know whether our manager, because he's sort of semi-executive, you know, I don't know whether he's been asked to do too much out with the training. Other than that, what your words you said about the some of the players, they're just not hit form, or they can't maintain the form, and that's really difficult. So the other coaches, the Alec Rays of this world, who are signed with Rangers to do this, they don't seem to be making any impact on these players from a coaching perspective. You can't watch. I'll go back and say this again. I'm not going to say it any more tonight. You can't watch Dessers on the park for 90 minutes and he hardly kicks a ball. And when he gets the ball, he stumbles over it or hits him in the bum. All these stupid things that can happen to a person when they're off form. And I'm afraid Dessers is way off form. And it has to stop. You'd be better bringing in a youngster for the under 18s or whatever and just playing him. You'd be better doing that and see what happens. Because Dessers is running about and he's fallen. He's fallen a lot. Maybe he's getting, you know, but somebody's nudging him and things like that. That's fair enough. But he's a big fella and he's a centre forward. So he should be expecting the body checks, you know, and so on and so forth that's happening to him. But to turn around and say to the referee, he was hitting me, you know, that's what it looks like. You know, you think, oh my, he's doing it again, you know.
Just as well I never played against you, Bridge, wasn't it?
Well, you know, I'm not being funny. These things happen. You know, centre forward and centre half positions are tough positions. There's nothing given, no ground given. If you're not up for the game, you're going to be found out very, very quickly. And there's nobody can do it better than these Scottish centre halves, the guys that are playing in the Scottish Premiership at the moment. They guys are ruthless because their job they've been told you're going to sack if you like that guy, blah blah blah, and all this. So they're taking the man every single time. They're looking to take the man. Now, obviously, if they keep taking the man, they've got a booking. But up until then, they just take the ball whenever possible. If not, they take the man. Don't let them get through to do this and do that next thing. And that's what's happening to us. There's one word to use, but truthfully, I think we're getting bullied in every position in the park. That's what I think.
Right. Anyway, we've been joined by Smurf. Evening, Smurf.
Hi, Ox. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Smurf.
I just thought I'd call in. It's I feared this would happen. You know, the frenzy. You know, all the piranhas are out. They're all circling. You know, with an aristocratic club with a storied history, and we've got these big shakes about ourselves. And I think the reality of our situation deserted most. But not Niels Coppin, who came out and said the other week, we're not a Premiership club and we shouldn't be behaving like one. And we've tried to do that. And the reality of the situation is, the majority of these guys that played yesterday are on big money. You know, Dessers, Danilo, obviously he's on the sidelines and can't play because he's always injured. And I feel sorry for the guy, you know, he's not had a fair crack. And then you've got the guys that don't show up, you know, Tav's missing, etc. None of these are Clement signings, and they're on money that their talent doesn't command. to be perfectly honest with you. They're overpaid. They're not going to move on because they're not going to get that money elsewhere. As per the financials that came out the other day, where they had to let guys go for peanuts to get them off the books because of the size of their wages. And so Clement's got to, where he can, it's one in, one out. And what he's trying to do is bring in youth that can be developed and then sold on for a profit to stop this madness, this cyclic madness that the club's got itself into. 90 odd million record turnover, 17 million in loss. It's insanity. With £1.5 million in the bank. And there's lunatics on social media calling for his head, listening to Chris Boyd. Rangers aren't a project. Chris Boyd has no idea. Had no idea what was wrong with that club on the inside. And I've got a beef with him. I never rated him as a footballer. He scored a lot of goals at Rangers. You know, coming off in cup finals, complaining it was too hot to play in. He needs to shut his mouth. He needs to learn to shut his mouth. You know, never get played in Europe because he was crap. Couldn't score against Celtic. You know, a bang average player. And I'd like to know what percentage his goals for Rangers, you know, this record that he's got, how many of them were penalties. He played in a team of players that made him the player he was. No, I think Rangers need to take their medicine. This isn't of Clement's making. Clement stuck his neck in the line. He could have left in the summer. And he's taken the flak. I think he stood up to it. He's made mistakes. He made mistakes yesterday. His selection was maybe not ideal, and sort of baffled me a bit. And his system, if you play a system with a number 6 at the base, or you're playing with a 10, or you're playing even with a sweeper, what you're trying to do is create a spare man so you can compress space. And I don't think when we're in the state we're in, we're miles away from that revolution. But that's his principles. I think people just need to get a reality check. This guy's got to stay, and he's got to see this through. I don't know what you think of that.
I just checked out. Chris Boyd only scored 20 penalties for us, mate.
Aye, still, for me, I thought he was a bang average player.
Yeah, I'm just saying he scored 10 on 33 games. Whoops. 10 on 33 games. 180 games started, 55 as subs, 133 goals, of which 20 were penalties.
Aye. How many did they score against Celtic? How many did they score in Europe?
I'll tell you that in a minute, mate. If you just, I think it was 1 goal against Celtic. I think was it 1 goal?
It was 1 goal. I
1 goal against Celtic. I
put some journeyman player, in my opinion.
Aye,
but anyway.
he's a good finisher, mate.
It's a good finisher. Aye. He's good. Aye. Unless it was too hot for him to play.
Dessers is a poorer player and a worse finisher. Yeah.
Oh, see, Dessers, I'm no measuring him against Dessers. Dessers, I would drive him to the airport. That's no my point.
He ain't gone nowhere, mate.
No, of course, because he's getting paid 26 grand a week.
He's going to sit there, and that's the point that Allbear made. I get that.
100%, and Allbear's 100% right.
All right, Smurf. Just wait. Right,
Sorry.
I get the point that, and you know better than making that he's inherited some of this stuff. He can't do what he likes because he's hamstrung with some of these people. Dessers, Danilo, who injured, unlucky. We get all that. I understand that, but the boy is nothing but bad luck. Cortez has come in. He'll be on decent money. Injured, I think, already for the third time. Yeah, he only came in the door in January. Never been injured before. Diamande, the winger, Matondo, Rabbi Matondo.
Matondo, aye.
Yeah, the money he's took, one of the highest earners at the club. Yeah. You know, Radvan came in. as a young man, hamstring injury in a few weeks, never fit. I get on it. They've been signed with the two previous managers. The one last summer done a lot of damage, and we've not, the summer before, we've not recovered for it, if we're honest, you know. But I've got
21 million, was it?
I've got to say, I've watched and I've looked, and the manager did get a response at half time, and he did get a good performance in the European game. But we can't get 2 games in a trot off there. We don't start. We started against St Mirren as if we were a bunch of strangers after having a great performance on the Thursday night. I don't understand it, mate.
I don't think anybody understands it. I don't think Clement understands it. I mean, he's putting these players out, and he sees well, they've had 2 real good games this season in the UEFA Cup. Apart from that, maybe there was County you could throw in. Apart from that, the rest of his wins. And he doesn't understand it as well, mate. He's scratching his head the side of that part, saying, why are they playing so bad? Why is he not being able to trap a ball today? What happened today? Why is Lawrence no running about today? Does he want to run about today? Why is Dessers doing what Dessers does? I mean, Dessers, as you keep saying, is an enigma. But one of the things that we've not talked about is what he signed up today. See, when he signed up and we got on the run and we had played well when he came in at first to get the new manager bouncing on that, as they say, he in his mind that he get brought in. He's thinking, I've got the core of a team here, and all I need to do is get rid of some of them and bring in maybe 4 to 6 players, 6 tops, probably 4, and we'll go ahead and challenge for the league this year. He then finds out what all the contracts are during his time, what all the contracts are going to be and who's on what, and he finds out the whole work is and says, well, hold on a minute here. And then he finds out, we've got the fair play to contend with as well, so we'll need to drop the wage bill as well. That's what he didn't sign up for. He didn't sign up for any of that. His idea was they brought him in, sort this squad out, add 4 or 6 players in the 2 transfer windows that winter and this summer, and we'll have a team. He's had to rebuild the whole squad. And with no money. Absolutely minimum money. I know we spent 20 million, they're saying. But that's nothing to build a squad, mate. Let's be honest about it. That's maybe, if you're going to spend that in 3 or 4 players, well, that's no bad. That's £4 or £5 million players you're bringing in. But he's going to build a squad. 16 players left and 12 come in. So he's 4 down right away for his squad to compete in Europe and the 3 game a week routine we're in at the moment. He's got to compete. He's got to deal with that.
16 that left, mate. They all weren't in the first team squad every week.
No, but most of them were hanging about the first team squad. You'd say most of the players will go when the books don't play in the first team squad because most of them are not fit. They're out for ages, 6 and 7 months at a time. Some out for a year. So at the end of the day, the point I'm making is that all that to contend with it that he didn't see. They never told him about this. He had to come in and find this out himself. And you come, Smith. Sorry, mate.
No, sorry, I was interrupting. No, and the other thing is as well, the players he's brought in, some of them are loan players as well. It's been disingenuous. That man never knew. When he took that job, I don't believe he knew the condition of that club when he took the job. I don't believe that for a minute. And in fact, he came out and said something along
he ought to get himself a new agent, mate. Because if I was going to take any job like that in that kind of industry, I would my agent, before I've even got to the talks, mate.
He said something about
you look at the surface here. You look at the surface here. He's looking at that, and his age is looking at that, going, Glasgow Rangers, a world-renowned club, and a club that's been to the UEFA Cup final 2 years ago. What's not to like, mate? You wouldn't think for a minute coming into Rangers with that sort of facade and then looking behind it, the mess you see behind it. You wouldn't think that for a minute, no matter what agent you've got. That facade's up there and everybody get conned by it. It's the reality is the reality. You come in and see the inner workings of the club and what is actually on the books. And it's frightening me. It was absolutely frightening. I bet you went like that. Oh, here, I've made a big, huge mistake here. There's no way I can sort this into 2 windies. There's no way I can build a squad or compete for a league with this squad of players. Then he tried to keep some. I mean, he wanted to keep Lundstrom, which I thought was
I
a
don't know if
mistake
he
anyway.
did. I don't know if he
Well,
did. I think
he said he tried to sort of it.
He
He said
tried to
himself.
stumble along at the end of the season, wanted to keep everybody motivated. Yeah,
Exactly, mate. Exactly. I know all that. But at the end of the day, he didn't think he'd have to go and get rid of 16 players. I bet he didn't think that when he walked in the door the first day he walked in that door. He didn't think that at all.
I think he's been naive. He must have known the contract situation all the players, mate.
No chance, mate. No chance.
Well,
that's no open knowledge, mate. You've got to get into a club to find that out. You just don't find that out.
Well, I can give you all the state of the Rangers players' contracts tonight for there this now when they finish.
Oxy, he came out and says in April, the reality of the situation, he must have thought he was going to have money to spend, and then he knows what's in front of him. And you're right, you can go and transfer market and it'll give you all that information. If it's accurate, I don't know. Right? And he goes and gets that information and he's looking at it. He's going to be sat there saying to himself, what he's no doing is sitting there going, well, we've only got this much money in the bank, there's no money coming in, and we can't sell them. And he's not doing that. He's thinking there must be money. He must have been told you're going to have money to spend. He wasn't told it was £4.
Can I come in also?
Yeah, on you go, Bridge.
It's just to say, please just remember, guys, that Clement's been here for over a year, just over a year. The problems we've had have started for the tail end of last season, and we're right through. We've lost a chairman, we've lost a chief executive, and we've lost a director of football. We've also had the terrible situation where Ibrox having to be shut down, and we have to go to Hampden. A terrible decision by anybody. So any move that our manager could have made anywhere would be null and died. It wouldn't have happened because there's just too much commotion. And look at us. We've lost the chairman and we've lost the chief executive, and it's now 3 months, maybe 4 months, and we've done nothing. We've not got anybody in. So the people that are running our club, which I've tried to say earlier on, I don't know whether they're forcing Philippe Clement to shoulder some of the weight that a chief executive would do. I really don't know, but it does feel as if the man's got a huge distance to go gap-wise to get to talk to somebody. So if he goes to speak to the board, there's nobody there. There's only John Gilligan that we know of, right? It's only John Gilligan. So we also lost the sort of senior man in the training academy. We've not replaced him yet. So there's a whole load of stuff.
I'm not exactly upset about that, mate.
No. I'm just saying it's the impact of that. There may be an impact on the manager. That's what I'm meaning. You know, and I don't know whether they're trying to load some of that work onto the manager until we get somebody in or whatever. But it's the woes for Rangers certainly started at the tail end of last season, and they've never went away. Just haven't gone away. And I know that people are saying this, that, and the next thing about Clement. The truth of the matter is, all I'm saying is, Mr. Clement has put whatever he's doing with the players. One game they're absolutely brilliant, particularly a couple of European ties, fantastic, and he can't get a run out of them afterwards. They just can't get it. For some reason or other. Sorry?
The academy director leaves. I'm more concerned about any of the kitchen staff left, mate.
No, like all I'm saying is that there are jobs and roles in the company that some of the roles there he might be asked to go and check this and go and check that, because at the end of the day it's up in Auchenhowie, so you can just step in there and check. They might be, I don't know if they are, but he might be asked to go and look at this and look at that and help out, because everybody's expected to help out when it's necessary. I don't think it's right if that is happening. I really don't know, but it's certainly not right, because the first team is the first team and should be there for he can do what he wants. But what he's doing with him at the moment, and it's really crystal clear to a lot of fans, the same players that play brilliantly in Europe, or every now and again they play brilliantly, they are not performing on the park And look at that performance the other night. Look at the performance against St. We're not talking about years ago. We're talking about a week ago. St. Mirren, and so on and so forth, And this season has just been a disaster for us.
We've had 4 games. We've had 4 games since the international break, and 3 of them have been appalling, and 1 we've played well. Yeah, and the 3 games we've been appalling is against Scottish opposition, and they've got his number. He's no good enough as a tactician. He's no good enough as a motivator. He's no good enough as a reactor. We've gave him 13 months. We've watched it. I accept all your premises and your arguments about what's happened and the players he's had to replace. He ain't got it. He ain't got it. And it's only going to end one way, this. And usually, the sooner the better. Or you'll end up in a Ten Hag situation at Man United, mate.
Oh, God help us. Don't do that. Don't do that, for goodness sake. Whoa.
You'll end up and it'll drag on for an extra year and nobody wins at it. And the only people that suffer is idiots like Albert who care about the club.
That's a fact, mate. It's a fact. But
I'm going to put a question in here. I'm going to put a question in here for Mr. Fox. Do you agree with Smith and Albert? Come and join us and give your thoughts. Yeah? Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Hi, Ox, can I come in with you? Is that all right? So
I'm talking about in a football sense.
Oh no, I get that. I get that.
At all as an
individual. If we go back to, bearing in mind, you're talking about as a tactician. I mean, the guy got a 2-week straw with Bruges and Real Madrid in the Champions League. You know what I mean?
He got a fabulous result for us in Betis. Our first victory in Spanish soil since Barcelona. Our first victory in Spain against a Spanish team. A magnificent performance in Benfica. Great result in Malmo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can he beat Kilmarnock? Can he beat Motherwell at Ibrox when we're going for a league? Can he beat?
I think there's scar tissue amongst.
Can he beat Ross County? Yeah, I could go on, mate.
So, see if you get back, and Gerrard was here. We won the league. And he's, let's fix the roof while the sun's shining. Club couldn't fund his ambitions, right?
Of course, and that's we just done. It was the back end of COVID. We just announced a 23 million. You couldn't speculate because you didn't know what was happening. We should have sold Morelos in Kent. That was a mistake.
Totally agree. But either way, they didn't fund or couldn't fund or wouldn't fund his ambitions, right? He left to bring Gio in. Gio couldn't really cut it in the Scottish Premier League as a manager. In Europe, he was brilliant with Gerrard's squad. Come end of the season, start the next season, he wants certain players, Xavi Simons and all that were up for sale. Club couldn't fund his ambitions. He's getting told what players are coming in. Places in the doldrums, gets his jotters, and he gets replaced. And who do they bring in? And this is where I'll call it the integrity of the executive there when they're rolling out that used car salesman that they brought up, president of his own fan club, Bill. When Gio's still in the job, he's in the dugout. It was classless, it was disgusting, it was disgraceful. And he gets it, and then he just gave him a big, here's a checkbook. And he goes and signs a load of clowns. And now we've got Coppin saying we can't behave like a Premiership club because we're no. And we need to cut our cloth accordingly and be clever with the shot. And we've got a manager we've brought in and who I believe they've been disingenuous with. I think they've been disingenuous. And
even if Have you done any coaching, Smurf?
No.
Right. If you've done any coaching at all, mate, any coaching for youth, right through the amateur level, semi-pro level, whatever, right?
Right.
There's times where you should still be organised. There's times we don't even look organised, mate. Yeah? And that should be if you've got 11 journeymen on the park or 11 internationalists, because let's be honest, we've got a lot of internationalists playing in our team who have been capped at various levels. I think last night, would Tav be the only one that's not been capped in that team on the park last night at any level for his club? Would that be fair? I'm trying to
Indeed.
think of the... Yeah, maybe
Indeed.
Tav.
Aye.
Aye, every other one been capped.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe the young boy Kimonegimang, I don't know if he's done that anything yet. Yeah, but everybody else has been capped. Yeah. But we go and we play some journeymen and they're more organised as us. They show more desire. Yeah. And so we don't get the motivation right. These are things that organisation, mate, and set up are things that you do in the training ground. Yeah. And we're not doing the basics, mate. So the whole thing falls apart. The shape is a whole different debate. Yeah, it can work when you've got the ball and you play well, like we did in Thursday night against it. Let's be honest, not the best team I've ever seen in Europe, Stoya Bucharest. Still a great result. But look at what's in beside it. Look what's in between it. Kilmarnock and St Mirren. We were awful. Awful.
It's just not good enough.
I think Aberdeen were a better team than Stoya Bucharest.
Yeah, they might have been, mate. I mean, let's also be honest, last night.
I think. Sorry.
We could have been 3-0 down all better, right? We could have been 3-0 down. But in the second half, with that much possession, we should have been on and won the match. But we never.
But that's not his fault, is it? He's only got Dessers. I mean, let's be honest,
but
right?
now, if that's not his fault, mate, and he's watching that, he might as well take him off, put Proper up front, because you'll get more out of him than you'll get with Dessers, mate.
He's the only striker that's fit.
No, but that he's still watching it, mate. If he's that bad, which I think he is, he's still watching it. Just take him off, put anybody on, send a signal out. Maybe the rest of the players have just had enough. What's the point? You try and play a 1-2 with him, you don't know. He passes it 50 yards away for you. I don't know, mate. You need to be in a sanctum to know that in the dressing room, because that's what happens in football.
You said it last night. I was listening. He's got another 2 years in his contract. He's not going to go anywhere.
He's not going anywhere.
So why? So to send a signal out to how come when you've literally got nobody to replace him with, or you don't have a striker to replace him with, and you're stuck with a guy that you don't want about the place, stinking the place out for 2.5 years.
He's stinking the place out for the last 16 months, mate. Bridgman.
Yeah, those are great points they're both making. But I've said this about Dessers for a wee while now. I don't quite understand. Look, I've been there and watched him and cheered him when he scored goals, and scored goals for nothing sometimes. But the truth is, obviously, I wasn't up at Aberdeen. But my goodness gracious, you know, he's had some very, very poor games this season. And I think his position is causing us major problems. We expect, even it doesn't matter what kind of donut you put in up there, you expect a 1 goal every 1 and 2 games, you know. You at least get that. We're not getting that for Dessers. Maybe scores a hat-trick and that builds his figures up. But to sit and watch Dessers, he's very poor at the moment. Now, that might be whatever tactics the manager's playing. It might be the right tactics and Dessers doesn't fit into it. And in which case, maybe you can't blame Dessers. But for me, and I know the whole load of guys sitting in the Copeland rear, when I hear them shouting at him, they've got a very similar opinion about Dessers as I have. And I wouldn't have him on my team. I would go to the youth team and bring a centre forward. I don't care who he is. I'd bring in a centre forward and let him run there and see what happens. It may be unfair on the boy for the first couple of games, but I think you can mix and match. Why put up with Dessers? I'm not saying we're paying for him, and Smurf's right. We've paid a lot of money for him, and you know But because we're paid a lot of money, does that mean we must play him? I don't think he's worth it. I'm not saying he's not worth the money. I just don't think he's worth putting on the park, because we're not getting nothing off him. Nothing at all.
Aye, I get what you're saying. If Lovelace or that was fit,
Lovelace is fit, mate. He's on the bench.
Maybe he should have put him on. And I'm not saying he's not made mistakes and he's not made bad decisions. When you look at that midfield, you've got a number 10 there, and then it ends up you've got somebody trying to sweep up at the back like we're asking, and it ends up the whole thing. There's no midfield because it's linear. You've just got a line, a backbone up the pitch, on either side of them. It wasn't like when you had Ryan Jack and you had Kamara there, and you had two sitting, and then one would shuffle there, the fullback went, and then they would shuffle across. And they were always, we've got no players of that calibre, and also, it's a different system, and you just end up with a linear midfield. And to be honest with you, sometimes you don't even. Particularly with Diamondi. And I do agree with you that sometimes, that boy just looks like he doesn't know what he's supposed to be doing. And it's no ability. It's no lack of ability. So I do agree that tactics and that, domestically, that they need addressing. But also maybe selection. I'd like to see Tav out the team. If he's fit, get Casemiro in at right back, or what's his face? The other boy, the big boy, is always injured that he had in the wing. Get him. Sterling, get him in there.
I don't think
Casemiro in at centre half.
I don't think Sterling looks interested. I don't think he looks the player he did.
Yeah, I get that, and all. I agree with you. Because I get that I get that vibe as well. So.
Yeah, he's another one. Let's be honest. I've sung his praises on here. I think he's got potential to be a ball winner in midfield. I get it. He's not a silky player, yeah. But if you played often enough, and when he played next to Lundstrom, that was arguably Clement's best spell as a manager, yeah. And then since then he's been everywhere, and he's been injured. He's another one. Let's be honest. He'll be on decent wages because he came in a free, I think. And he's just extending an extension, and we don't know where we're going to play him. And we're doing the exact same thing with the guy Casemiro. And there's a lot I can't father out, mate.
A lot of people can't father out, myself included. I don't know what he's up to these tactics. I'm not a clue what he's doing. I don't know if he knows he's doing with the tactics, but at the moment, if it was a fair playing field, money wasn't, I don't want to say no object, but it wasn't the concern it is at the moment. I think he'd be away. I'd think the Steelers, they think I can rid of him. But we've got to stop the cycle, mate. It's for Dessers, just pointing on him. I've said all I want to say about this. I've just said that he's a bad player, mate. But my question about him is, how come the fitness team never make him near the red zone and can he play today? And the same question for Tappan. How come he's never near the red zone and can he play today? But Kearney is, Lawrence is, anybody on form here. Suter was last week as well. He's on form. Well, he can't play. He's near the red zone. It's all nonsense, mate. It's just all nonsense. I can't fathom what's happening at the club. I suspect a lot of things, but I can not proof it. But I'm telling you, there's something no right. Something dreadfully no right. And it's no all Clement's fault. Tactics, I'll agree with you. Tactics, I'll agree with you, mate. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know.
No. I get it. The playing field, and he maybe know the backup, and he's maybe done stuff that Bridges mentioned that wasn't he doing. He was the main focal point for when all the steelwork when they turned up. He was on to take all the questions and energy. Yeah, I get on that. Right. But I'm just talking about the pure football side, tactics, motivation, shape, basic fitness. Yeah, decisions, changing a game. Just totally like for like. You need a goal when you still play with one up front. Yeah, I know it's old-fashioned football. You might put your centre-half up with 10 minutes to go and try and get a goal. Something different. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Right, okay, get yourself in mute. We're going to have a tune.
Every Saturday we follow, we cheer the boys in blue, the most successful team in football. We're Scotland's gallant few, though at times they have been hard, we've followed near and far. You will always hear us roaring from the stands in Ibrox Park.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, it's Albert Segan back to the fitness thing and the young boy Jeff Day. Come on, would they play 20 minutes last night? Something like that. Was that fair?
Somewhat. Aye, somewhat like that, man.
Something like that. So he can't play an extra 70 minutes of football. Again, I don't get it, mate. He's not coming back from injury. He's no getting nursed back. Yeah, you've got that Geb, maybe away to Athens, the semi-final, whatever. You can take him off. Whatever. You've changed your team. You've changed your setup, and you've brought Casemiro in. Who, by the way, I thought was excellent in Malmo. I don't think he was as good last night. But the boy not playing, it just doesn't add up. I just don't get it, mate.
Well, I've got my suspicions. You know me, I've got conspiracy theory going in or not. I know there's something. You can't put rules to certain players and no rules to other players, and then try to pass it off as scientific fact. And that's what seems to happen up at Ibrox at the moment. They seem to be coming out with these fictitious numbers for somewhere. I don't know where they're getting them for, to tell you a player can't play today. Or if you play them, I mean, one of the comments was, if you play him, you've got a chance of getting him out injured for 3 months. What? How do you know it's 3 months? How do you know? How do you know what injury it's going to be? I mean, it's absolute and complete and utter nonsense, mate.
But if you don't play him, he could fall down the stairs, taking his feet to the stand and get injured for 3 months.
But the concern is the manager's listening to me. He's actually telling you, I can't play him because they've told me not to play him. So who's picking the team now?
Right, so you're saying the manager's not the manager then?
It doesn't sound like it, does it? It sounds like everybody else is chipping in with a comment here or a selection. They're all walking in and picking their teams for the week. No, what we do. Here you go, and there's my team.
Maybe that's the way
Surely,
to do it.
surely, like when you think back, Davy Weir, right, coming in, he used to play 2, maybe even 3 games in 10 days, 2 games a week, right? And then they'd have their day off, and then they'd come in, and then they'd warm up, and then they'd stretch, and then they'd cool down, they'd go for massa, and they just drop the intensity of the training. If you're playing all the time, there's obviously no. You've got to manage the load. Well, you manage the load in the training because you're not paid to come in and train. You're paid to come in and play. So you get them on the pitch. If you've got to manage the load, you manage it in the training, surely.
He used to say to me that your manager's hopeless and doesn't know what he's getting done. Is that what he's saying to me?
No.
All right.
That sounds like it.
Sounds like it to me, Bridgeman.
It sounds like it.
How does it sound like it?
The other day.
No, wait a minute, hold on. How does that sound like that? That doesn't sound like
It
that.
sound like it.
No, it
Don't bite, Albert. Don't bite. So, see the other day when he had the inquest, the defensive inquest. What was the game? Was it after the Kilmarnock game? There was an inquest about the defence or whatever it was, or was it a St Mirren game? I can't remember. And I think he's dropped proper. And I do wonder, did they actually just drop that boy, Jeffy?
It might be. It might be.
Do you know what I mean? And to me, I don't understand. They're relics now. Your proper needs to be sent in January, right? I look at him. I just imagine the guy stood next to him, smell the Eastridge enough him. He's got ovaries. That's not a man. That he's got nothing about him whatsoever. Nothing about him.
Are you agreeing with that, Olga?
What's that? Well, I agree, man. No, you feel to say it, and then he's looking at.
I know.
I mean, you don't say it. Don't say it. Don't incriminate yourself.
Are you agreeing with Smurf there?
What about?
What you just said there? Did I hear
No,
that?
What did you say there? You want to make sure you understand what you say.
Just say aye, you'll make it easier.
Hello.
Right.
Aye, so anyway.
It sounds like they two are saying that our manager can't pick a player or motivate them. Is that what it sounds like to you, Bridge?
That's exactly what it sounds like to me.
Thank you, Bridge.
By the way, we agree with it.
Hey,
I certainly
Bridge,
agree
you go
with
on
it.
mute. You go on mute.
Right, wait a minute. Use gentlemen, behave yourself. We've been joined by a lady. Well, I'm saying she's a lady. I hope she's a lady. Evening, Mandy.
Hi, Oxford. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Mandy.
Hiya.
Hi, Mandy.
Hiya. I would just like to say last night just sort of broke me and most supporters. We were all trying to get behind Clement, but I think he's clueless. I really think he needs to go now.
I think it would only be fair, Mandy, if Albert answered that. Albert?
You're not the only one, Mandy, and I can't argue your points. I know you've got points in your head that you want him out the door, and a lot of people are the exact same. I can't argue. I'm not trying to defend him to keep him. I'm just saying he's here to do a job that he never really signed up for one, and two, it needs to be done. Somebody needs to do it, so we get rid of him and bring another manager in. He has to do it. and it will be the same thing. Okay, tactics might be slightly different. It might be. We don't know. And if his tactics are slightly different and we get the same results with the same players, then the players are to blame. But you're taking a chance. We're trying to get stability here. We're trying to get something in place that we can build off of. You can't build off of sand, and that's what's happening. Our foundations are made of sand, mate. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he shouldn't go. I'm just saying we need.
Yeah, see, I'm just an old bear, so I don't know what the conversation started with the night. I'm just back to work.
You're right.
So I never heard the conversation, and I have.
You're in the majority, Mandy. Put it that way.
I've gave him every benefit of the doubt. I've waited. I don't understand why he can never put the same team out twice. I don't understand why he has to drop a 20-year-old last night because he's tired. But that just blows my mind. And I think we've really, really went back the way as opposed to going forward. And it just breaks my heart, like every other Rangers supporter out there. It's just heartbreaking. And we're watching this. We're going to work. We're getting abuse at work. We're getting jeered at. We're getting laughed at. And our once famous club is now just nothing in Scotland. And it makes me so sad.
The problem is when you look at that team last night, Mandy, on the park, yeah, and they're being paid a lot of money, yeah. With two Scotsmen on it, two Scotsmen. I think we finished with two Scotsmen, 3 Englishmen and a Welshman. But I don't know if there's a Rangers supporter in our team. Do you think that's the link? And that's what I'm not saying that Barron doesn't understand us. I'm not saying that John Suter doesn't understand us. I don't know if they two were brought up Rangers supporters.
I kind of think we've lost our identity. We don't have any. We've not got that many Scottish players that know and can play our football. The style, the freezing cold winters, when you need to go up and it's snowing and it's freezing and it's bitter cold. And I'm not saying that I understand that these guys are all young, but come on, when you're young, you should be there battling and fighting to look better, to get a big. Because let's face it, most people who come to our clubs are only coming here as a stopgap to try and make themselves look better, to get down south or somewhere else abroad. But for a 20-year-old to get rested, for no even to keep the same team on twice in a row, it's ludicrous, it's stupid. I don't get it.
I don't think you're alone. Bridgeman, in you come.
Yeah, like we've been saying similar things what Mandy's been saying, and people are going to have their own opinion as to how they see it. There are times when you watch them playing and you think they've chucked it, and there's other times they come on the park and they look absolutely brilliant, particularly in the European games. So sometimes they're fearless and sometimes they're not fearless, and they get stuck right in and come away with a result. Great results in Europe, some great results in Europe, and I hope they continue doing that. But we all, as Rangers fans, we want to, particularly when you're sitting at Ibrox, you want to see your team playing half decently and getting a couple of goals. That's what you want, but to be deserved,
I just think there's nothing to cheer at now in Ibrox. The fans are doing, the football club. I'm not saying it's easy what he's been brought in to do.
No,
he's been brought in, the money wise, and I understand that decent players cost decent money. I get all that. One, definitely not having any strikers in the building was a big, big mistake. Whether it be Shanklin or whoever, big mistake for me. You have got absolutely nobody that can put that ball in the back of the net. And I remember way back many years ago, they used to say, work your way to the back and move yourself forward. Our goalkeeper hasn't been brilliant. In fact, since he wasn't picked for the English team, he's been hopeless. Defenders are no great because they're letting in far too many goals. We've got 2 young lads maybe Diamondi or Barron or Raskin and Barron in midfield. Tavernier, I'm sorry. I know what he's done for the club and all the rest of it, but he's not a patch in the guy he used to be. For me, he should be on the bench, getting on when we're winning against teams and bringing somebody else in to take over that job, because he's not got to be here anyway, and just sort of peter out before he leaves. We know he's only starting to get his testimonial. I don't mean to down the guy, because he has done a lot for our club. I'm not going to say he hasn't. But point being, he's done now. And I just don't understand that manager at all. I've stuck by him and feel for him, because he didn't have any money and he's brought young players in to try and make money. And next year's going to be even worse, because we're going to have less money that we can spend out. I don't get it. I just don't.
Smurf, when you come, mate.
Aye, well, I don't know. I think that everybody's entitled to their opinion and call it as they see it. And he's undoubtedly I think he's made selection problems. I don't think he's been brave enough. I think, he had a list of players, was it 62 or 64 players they interviewed, and they spoke to, and guys are knocking them back. And then you need a set, for instance, you look at Proper. How does Proper end up in the building? Because 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 other centre-halves have said no. So who you're bringing in, the quality of what you're bringing in is diminishing. And you get more and more desperate as you get to the beginning of the season, closer to the beginning of the season. So it's not been easy for him. He's made mistakes, and I think that he's got his football sort of philosophy and principles. He doesn't want to compromise him. And ultimately it will cost him his job, because what you've got to be is a pragmatist. You've got your ideals, but ultimately you need to be a pragmatist. You need to pick a team and a formation that's going to get you a result. And as you improve and as you evolve and as you grow over the years, you can then start working towards your ideals. And now's not the time for that. It needs to be braver, I think. And, I'd like to see Sterling in at right back. I'd like to see Casawero going into as a centre half and Jeffrey starting and maybe Big Shooter beside him. I get that.
Do you think that Casemiro looks like a centre half?
No, I don't think he does, but I think he's better than Proper.
No,
I think he's better than Proper at centre.
No, I never asked you that. I said, do you think that Casemiro looks like a centre half?
No, he doesn't. I'll tell you what, I think he could do. I think he could play as a 6. Because I think he looks really, really comfortable on the ball.
He runs well with the ball, I get that. But I don't think he's been great in the last 2 games, personally. Mandy, listen, I get it. I also agree with Albert. This rinse and repeat with the managers. I'm going to contradict myself here. I get what Albert's saying, but I just think that this only ends one way, Mandy, yeah?
Yeah, I think so, Upstead. I think it's just tragic and heartbreaking what we're going through now, because we're once a great team. That lot are there. They will get 56. That song is not going to mean much to us then, because we aren't the successful team anymore. It's just tragic. It breaks my heart. It really does break my heart. Because other than my kids and my husband, my dogs and Rangers are everything to me, do you know what I mean? And it just, like my boys will say to me, it's so hard, Mum being a Rangers supporter, because one of them works in the hospital as well, and the other one works on a building site. And he's like, oh no, I need to go to work now and I need to listen to this tomorrow again. And I don't think they realise how much it affects all our lives. Because they don't care, they just go beep, beep, beep. Oh, aye, there's my wages. That's fine, I've got plenty of money, I don't care. And I don't think there's any Rangers supporters in our squad where in years gone by we always had Rangers supporters. We always had Rangers men that would go out there and give you that extra 20% to knuckle down and try and get a result. We don't have anybody now. The biggest majority of people at our club are only there for the money. They don't care about the club. They really don't care about the fans. And it's hard.
Yeah,
I feel sorry for everything in there.
It's not just, listen, that's modern football, all better, isn't it? Modern football. There's not a lot of Mancunians in the Man City team, or a couple.
No, it's all about money anyway. It's professional football players, they play for money, and that's the end to it. It's just the way it is, and I get what Mandy's saying. It's we'd like to get back to the old ways. People actually playing for the jersey and want to be at the club that they're playing at, and supporters of the club and all the good stuff. But it's gone, mate. It's just part and parcel of modern football. It's going. It's just hard cash now. It's everybody's in it for money. Apart from the supporters,
That lot are there. Don't have a lot of Celtic supporters, but they get in the fight for that jumper every week.
But they get indoctrinated. But they get indoctrinated. They get a hate put in their heart, but as soon as they're out to join that club, that's what they get. They get brainwashed into hating us. That's just what it is.
Sad but true.
They're not the only ones. You know.
No.
There's only one club gets a welcome what we get when we go up the road, but they've not realised but their club's been affected by what happened in 2012. They fell for it. But that's just me. I think we've been joined with a big pal for Australia. I think he's with us. Big Al. I hope he's there. Yes, big man. How we doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. How are you?
All right, good, mate. Good.
It's dark days, eh?
So, mate, I don't know. Give your answers, Al. Give your answers.
Well, I think we've got to rip up and start again. Look, I agree with Albert to a certain aspect. I think the manager, he came out and he said he was kind of practical. I'm paraphrasing here, but he was sold something and that didn't transpire. That's on the club. That then tells me there's a lot of problems behind the scenes. I don't know who's all behind the scenes. There's that many behind the scenes. Are things run by committees behind the scenes? Nobody can agree. There's a bit of a power struggle there. Whoever it is, I'm just saying names like the Parks or whoever. You hear rumours about this one and that one, and they don't want to relinquish power. You've got Dave King. You've got these whoever else is trying to make decisions. If you don't have a clear strategy behind the scenes, that's just filtered. And I think we're seeing the results on the park because there's nobody for you to answer to. You have to have someone there that steers the ship, says this is the direction. You do this. If you don't like it,
hey man, Al, Mandy, you put your phone on mute.
Sorry.
Put your phone on mute.
But when never listen. Aye, so that's just that. Like the football's been absolutely shocking and terrible. And I was listening to something last night, and I had a wee look back at the things. See the last 4 or 5 games, I think maybe except the Steaua Bucharest game, I've ordered jeans, trainers, jackets, t-shirts. Stuff for the car, stuff for my shed during the games because you're switching off, mate.
What kind of trainers?
They ZX 750s, kind of classic ones, nice ones. But what I'm getting is, it's not holding your attention. The games are pretty dire, mate, and then. Some of the selections that he makes himself, I just think it's through pressure. Like the young boy Jeff, I was shocked when I never seen him. He's been one of the better players, one of the brighter lights of the season, and he wasn't playing, and then he's dropped proper. Like Smurf was saying, and he's probably just dropped him, seeing that he's not good enough. And I think I'll go along with some of the comments. I mean. We'll be going and buying players, but we'll have a certain target, just maybe out of the price range for us, and then we'll have to go for second or third choice. That's fair enough. That's the boat we're in. But
no,
I think
unusual. No,
it's not unusual. No, I know, but why is it not working out for the guys? You know what I mean? Are they just gone for the guys because they're on the list? They've not done the proper homework. You know what I mean? Everyone's focused on choices 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 are just backups. So they've not done the proper homework. Like, because to me, I mean, he might be a good enough player. I don't know nothing about the big boy at the back, but he just didn't seem robust enough. That may come. He may just be settling in, and he's got his family and things like that, other things on his mind. But it's just, I think the manager has to go. It doesn't mean he's a bad manager. I don't think he is a bad manager. It's just the circumstance that we're in, and we have to rip it up and start again. Look, this is off the cuff. It's by no means, but I think I would just go for Robertson. Is it Robinson at St Mirren? And the only reason I'm saying that, I'm not saying he's a wonderful manager, no, but he knows the Scottish game. I think he knows what's needed in Scotland, and if we just have to circle the wagons for a season or two, and just, well, we're going to have to build back up for foundations, the whole thing, the backroom thing with no CEOs and chairmen or whatever. I think we're just going to have to start again, and I just think you need to. I think the boat has sailed in McInnes. You might like him as a manager, but personally, not for me. I think the boat sailed on that. So I would just go with that wee Robertson for St Mirren, and just bring him in and say, look, we just need to consolidate a position here. He knows how to set up against teams, and I'm sure he'd fire a few shots across the bows and drop a few players that need dropped when they need dropped, and kind of go with that nucleus of the youth.
Can I ask you a question now?
No.
Okay.
Of course you can. Of course you can.
Well, if you're going to go for Robertson, Robinson, whatever his name is that you're going to have to buy him?
Yeah. You need to do what you've got to do.
Ask you, just the thing I wanted to ask is, why wouldn't you go and buy the Aberdeen manager then? He's put a 10
no, but I understand.
9 out of 10, man.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know nothing about him. I just Robertson's been in the Scottish game a lot longer. That's so I think I preface by saying it wouldn't be a great move, but it's just something that we need to consolidate and bring somebody in that actually knows. Why would I get the Aberdeen manager just because he's got 9 games in it? Their arses will collapse. I mean, I think we all know that. I think their arses will collapse. It's that new manager, but we had it with Clement, we had it with Beale, we had it with every new manager kind of has that. They're Aberdeen, you've got to remember, where did they finish second bottom last year? Where did they finish last year?
It was Loudon, you know.
Aye.
It was Loudon.
Yeah,
No, basically, his starting point, that new manager, is up. There isn't anywhere else to go but. So for that point of view, it's an easy start. But I'm with you. I don't think they'll last. I never seen anything the other night that they produced that really frightened me. Nothing at all. They won a couple of balls in the air, and the wee guy get through a couple of times. That's about it.
Right, and there was a thing in the sorry, Albert, but just on that point where you're making, and I respect Bridges' point of view, but in the paper the last 14 games or something, did you see some of the teams that were playing? Spartans, Queen of the South. You know what I mean? So they tried to make a comparison. You know, although he's won more games, you could take 4 of the games at that straight away that you would even our B team would beat them. So, and they were all like 1-0s, weren't they?
They're just trying to.
I don't want to talk about Aberdeen, but anyway, I don't want. It's Rangers Radio, so Aberdeen can go away. But maybe he would be an option. But would you get him for Aberdeen? Aberdeen would want him at 10 million for the guy. That's how deluded they are. So.
No.
I just wanted to know if you would have thought of looking elsewhere on Robinson. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me.
Who's doing the grinding?
No, I'm the on-grinder.
Right, okay, just go on mute.
We shot him a punch.
Right, okay.
I can come in there, Ox. I think at the with the, it's a good point that's been made as well. You know, we've had the worst run of games in terms of the start of the season. You know, we've had to go to Pittodrie, we've had to go to Parkhead. You know, Aberdeen had to go to Parkhead. None of them's had to come to Ibrox. And I'm not saying that would be, I don't know, you'd like to think it would make a difference, you know what I mean? They're no any two great shakes either. I mean, you look at that game yesterday, right? And see if you've actually got a striker that's a wee bit clinical.
Correct.
He's burying the two chances. The two chances that Dessers felt at Dessers. You're having a very different conversation right now.
Yeah, listen, no offence to Dessers, but he is a big part of the problem. You're playing the 10 men for a lot of the time, mate. A lot of the time. When he's poor, he's so poor. Mandy, and you come, give your thoughts on it. When he's poor, he is so poor, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I agree, Ox. He seems like a really nice guy. I'm not going to say anything, but he's definitely no Rangers class. 100%. He hardly ever puts a ball away. He's just becoming so bad that he's a laughing stock now. And that's sad, because I don't think he's all bad. Yes, he might have fell in love with our club, but they had the chance to get rid of him and on. They didn't take it. Why no? I don't understand.
He didn't want to go.
Talk.
He didn't want to go on Monday.
Right.
He didn't want to go. He's got 3 years of a contract that was bigger than what he was offered.
Again, apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently we still have got the highest wage bill in Scotland.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know. We've taken our 6
I'm
months.
not sure if that means like the players that we've already got, like Lawrence and Cavanagh and
we might have
other
some of
ones
the highest paid players in Scotland. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, because Butland, Lawrence, Tavernier, yeah, they'd be up there, yeah.
Matondo.
I mean, don't a striker somewhere good enough to be brought in. I mean, the world's your oyster. Yeah. There's plenty of places to look. What is your scouts saying? Where are they going? Because it's definitely not working. In my opinion, it's definitely not working. I
think the strategy at the beginning of the season is, I don't know who came up with that strategy, but the strategy, I mean, some of the players that they bought or spent money on, like that, is it the AC Milan boy or whatever, you know, I mean, the wage that they must be paying that boy, that could have brought in maybe a half-decent striker. Aye, that's what I mean. I don't even know the boy's name. He's no.
We've seen him once at Birmingham, mate. He's a big unit.
But
he's only a boy, mate.
Yeah.
Like the B team.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is that money. Why are we buying a player to play in the B team when we're having a rebuild for the first team? And I mean, they didn't go through it. They didn't commit to that really. They bought players for B team. And then they didn't do the total clear out that was required in the first team. So they kind of half-arsed it. Sorry for swearing, but you know what I'm saying? Well, that's the way it looks like to me.
Because the trouble is, you know...
You either commit or you don't, you know what I'm saying?
You can't get rid of the players. Matondo ain't gone nowhere. Dessers ain't gone nowhere. Lawrence will see his contract walked out the door. Yeah? Balogun's contract will come to an end, obviously, because of his age. You know, Tavernier's not an asset now financially. Yeah, but people will argue about the football side of things all day long, of course. Mm-hmm. You know, and these are guys that are taking big wages. Throw in Danilo, Redvan, injuries. It's just ridiculous. Now, I'm not for the money we'll pay for the two of them plus their wages. Maybe they two alone with their wages. There's your 17 million all better, isn't it?
It could be, mate. It could be. But there's a lot of draining going on and nothing new return. It's got that has to stop. It has stopped. Put it that way. And we're now cleaning house. It should have been done over the last 5 years. But again, we allowed Beale to bring in mints, total and utter mints with big wages, and that's caused it all over again, mate. And it can't be allowed to happen again. It's got to be. So you've got to stick
But
with this manager.
that wasn't Beale's decision, though, was it, Albert? That wasn't Beale's. Somebody empowered him. So who was the person that empowered him? That's who
that's
a
point.
swift kick in the clackers.
No, that's a good point, because I kept saying when they signed Coutinho, who made the decision to actually go and scout him and actually sign him? Whoever that was, you don't want them near football decisions. You never find out who makes these decisions. Oh, behind closed doors. And now we're at this time when Beale get that checkbook and get let loose with it. Who made the decision? Whoever that was, you don't want them making football decisions again. But here we go again. The Clement, everybody's wanting Clement out. The same's going to be said about him. Who made the decision to actually bring him to the club? It's madness, mate. It's just total madness. Whoever's making these decisions in the background, they're the ones that need to be exposed and told. You sit in the, oh great, you might owe you 10 million or whatever we owe you, but you sit in the corner and say nothing, by the way, about football. You can actually clean the dishes and do things like that, but you're not getting anywhere near football decisions, and that's what's happening, mate. But
who tells that person? Who tells that
that's
person
another good
not
point.
making a decision? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting at. But to me, looking for the outside in, it looks like we're governed by a committee of what, I'm using that phrase, but I don't think, because when you look at the share thing, sometimes 5%, 2%, and they're all putting money in, so they're all wanting to have their wee say. That doesn't work. It just muddies the waters. We need some sugar daddy to come in and just read the place. Say, here, there's the money for your shares now. Thank you very much, and go. Directors don't like our shareholders don't like other shareholders, so they're going to impede their movement forward. The other one's going to impede. I don't want him doing this. He doesn't want. So
it's just an argument, and it's just an argument all day long with them.
Yeah, and I think that just filters straight down to that boardroom level, and that just goes. If you've not got a happy boardroom or you've not got a happy management structure in any company, that just filters down, and the final product isn't of the quality that's required. You know what I mean? And the product that we see at the moment is absolutely garbage. Like.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, we've been joined by Bob J. Evening, Bob J.
Good evening. How are we doing? Usual air of pessimism. You're right enough, by the way. I listened to this crew earlier, and you're absolutely right in what you're saying. It's just a series of catastrophic events from the top to the bottom. That's a shambles, and it's got to be sorted out. The buck's got to stop somewhere. All bears right. Who's made all these calamitous decisions in the past, and now look at the juncture that we're at. And I just hope, for the sake of us all Rangers fans, that we can climb out of it. I'm confident we will, but how long it'll take, you don't know. But just look at the overall picture. You're hemorrhaging money. There's players injured. They're picking up wages. They've never contributed anything. The results are poor. There's doubts about the manager's status. It's shambles. It's got to be addressed. It's got to stop somewhere. You're talking about one of the greatest clubs in the world, a gigantic club with gigantic support. I'll not put up with much more of this, by the way. So you're talking about decisions there. Somebody's got to make a decision to sort it out, and who it is and when it is, I don't know. I'm in the dark, just the same as the rest of you. Rant over, lads.
But us sitting in the dark, I think that's the point. I think that's the point that Mandy's making. Listen, I look at young Yilmaz. He started 37 games for us. This is his third season, Albert. His third season.
I'm saying, and it was 5 million we paid for him. Complete and utter waste of money. Utter waste of money. And we're still paying it. We're still keeping on paying these players. There's Dessers running about like a big trumpet up there. We're paying him a fortune to run about like that. There's Matondo. He's sitting where Ruth used to sit on the big treatment table. We're paying him a fortune to do that. We're paying out way too much money for little return. It's unbelievable. We're paying Rolls Royce money and driving a Mini.
Mm-hmm. Oh, would you give bigger wages?
No, I'd take a wages cap.
Performance related, mate.
Well, it's a different question. You could go down that, but I'd take a wages cap for Rangers, and I'd go for character of man. because you'll get players. It's maximum, say, 15 grand a week. That's a lot of money. But you're going for character, man. The reason I'd say that is that if I offer somebody 15 grand a week and he's a player that says, I'm not 150, well, you're no good. You're no good to me because your character's one. But if you've got people keen enough to come, and they know there's a wages cap there, maybe you could incentivise that later with whatever one-off payments at the end of the contract or whatever. But I would just have a wages cap, so it keeps you financially, and I think also we do a lot of the
chances.
A lot of the crap. Chances, maybe. You've got to go character, man. You've got to go character, man. And who was it? Walter Smith. I've just heard this on another podcast or so. And, get somebody that comes to their work every day, gets out their scratcher. You know what I mean? And they're at their work every day, and they're on the park every day. They're not complaining. They're grateful for what they've got. They're grateful for the chance. They're grateful to play in front of wonderful fans. I think that character, man. And you build a team. You take 11 players that have all got the same kind of attitude and move forward with that. You know yourself, you don't need to have the best players in the world, but as long as they work with each other, they've got each other's back, I think you get a better team. It's a team ethic, and I think that all comes down to character, man. Players that are hungry.
Oh, can I come in on that?
On you go, Spot.
So, I'm just thinking, it's a fair point. Let's say you go and you buy somebody for 5 million and the wages are 15 grand plus a win bonus or whatever, right? And then you could put in the contract that anything over 5 million that yourself own for, you get 5% or 10% of that. Mm-hmm. You know, at the end of the contract. So you're incentivising them being a success at the club and winning a move to a bigger league. Because a percentage of the profit, if you like, is going to come their way. Surely that's got to be, and then that really does measure the character. Because if you really believe in yourself, you'll take that.
But that's only face on, mate. That's only face on. What you're talking about here is, first of all, the guy that you're giving this incentive to has to be able to play football. You've got players like Dessers who can't play football. He'll sign that deal all day long, by the way, because he knows he's not going anywhere. I mean, he'll just sit and drain you. He knows he's playing above his level now. He's at a club way out his range. He shouldn't be anywhere near Rangers. In fact, he shouldn't be anywhere near professional football to a certain degree. So guys like that, and that's the trouble we've got. We're signing players like this. That know they've won the lottery, mate. They've landed at Rangers and they're sitting going, wow, I'll just stay here. Lawrence, people like that. They only, if it was left in a level playing field with these guys, they'd have never got to Rangers. If Rangers were on a level playing field, they'd have never got to Rangers, ever. They're not good enough to play for Rangers.
It's that much in a basket case. I don't know what Tesser's goal tally is at the moment, but we're 10 games into the season. Ox, how many has he scored this season?
Okay. Give me a minute, mate. Give me a minute. I'm still looking at Ridvan's article. I'll be right back with you, Dessers. If you
5 is it? 8. Right, 5. 8. Is it 5?
By the way,
I think it's 8.
Did I not make the start a few weeks ago? If he scored in his next 7 games, if he scored 4 goals, he was up to the same rational, same stats as Jermaine Defoe, stats-wise.
Nice one.
That's much better.
But see, there you go. There you go. That's a really good point that you brought up there. The two of them are the football players, Dessers or Defoe, but who's the better man?
I don't want to comment on that.
It's Defoe. It's Defoe, straight away. The stuff he's done for the... Aye, of course. Aye. Morally, maybe a different thing, because he likes his hole. But...
there's a lady present.
Is there? I thought she was gone. She knows what I'm talking about anyway. What about when he was at Sunderland?
Aye, what he done for that wee boy was...
Right. So that outweighs anything else, I think. And I don't think he's not a creep in with what he's alluding to. He likes the Sheilas. That's about it.
He scored 29 goals, Dessers, and he has scored 7 this year, 1 in Europe, and 3 in the League Cup, and 3 in the league. 3 league goals and 8 starts. There's my problem. That's my centre forward.
That's a problem right there.
In a nutshell.
At the very least, it should be 1 and 2, innit?
Well, that one gives him 1 per goal.
No, but it's still 1 and 2, innit? It's, at the very least, you'd be saying, well, you should be getting a goal every other game. At the very least.
1 more goal.
Well, it'd still be 20 goals a season, more or less, wouldn't it? 19 goals a season, which isn't a bad return.
He scored 3 league goals this season, and 2 of them were against Ross County. Yeah?
Aye. Well, there's the problem, isn't it?
And you come Monday, put them all in their place.
I'll try, but I doubt it. I don't know. I think the players we've got, they're quite happy to do well in Europe because they're showcasing themselves, if you want to put it like that. But when it comes to the league, they just don't have a clue. Their heart's no in it. Personally, I think Clement will get to after the cup game on Sunday, and depending on the result in that, and let's face it, Motherwell will be coming to want to take us now because nobody's afraid of us anymore. I think depending on that result on Sunday, will determine, like you said, Ox, can they afford to let him go, but can they actually afford to keep him? Because if he doesn't do well on Sunday, oh my God, there will be carnage. Full of this. I'm glad I'm not going to work on Monday. But I just think I was right. The players that we've got, like first, second, third, maybe fourth choice, we don't know, and they're never going to tell us. We'll never know. And I understand it, the guys who are putting their money in, and I know they're putting their money in, the guys who are on the committee, who love Rangers and are all Rangers men, but they certainly don't know how to run a football team. That lot are there, they know how to run a football team, and they keep their finger in every pie, where our guys, they don't know how to do it. And I think it's time. Next year will be even harder because we're already at 17-something million in the red. Next year will be even harder to try and bring. And we never ever had any trouble with players wanting to come to Rangers. But now for some reason we've just went down and down and down.
The market is the wages all in Europe would buy Scottish football from Scandinavia to Poland to Spain to Italy to France, etc. The wages of it by Scottish football, Monday, compared to a couple of generations ago, when maybe we were a generation ago we were at a peak. And also you've got the product and the league situation, which isn't attractive to some guys who are wanting to play the game at a different level because of the way the game's played and the state of some of the pitches, the facilities. I'm not talking about our club. I'm talking about going to Hamilton, or you're going up to look at the state of St Johnstone's pitch last season, look at the ball at Dundee. All these things are no good to attract a guy that's maybe young and ambitious. Albert?
That's true, mate. That's true. But again, it's Scotland. It's the way we do things here. It's mental, absolutely mental. Quick question: what's the bonus money for Europe, and what's the bonus for league points? Is there a bonus for league points, and is there a different bonus for Europe? Because it seems to me that we play hard, we play better in Europe. It might be a bigger bonus, mate.
I think you answered your question, but I think part of the problem is at the moment, and this is one of the reasons I'm worrying. I'll let Big Al come in and then Bob Jer come in on this point. I think the other coaches in Scotland, and even the guy who won the game on Sunday, out-coached our coach. Yeah, the boy Robinson. I know he had a week to work on it, and our manager had no time because it was a turnaround, but they still were out-coached during the game. Big Al.
How do you mean they were coached? Just because they won the game?
No, we won the game, but he knew. He right away he put his big strong boy. He made sure he was right and tapper proper, and we struggled to.
Oh, sorry, you're talking about the St Mirren game.
Aye, the last game.
Aye.
We played, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. So the second last game.
Aye, my point. Yeah. For example.
Aye. Look, I think you've got a valid point there. I don't know. When you say proper isn't playing well, so it doesn't take a rocket scientist to say, right, and you've probably seen him in the game before it and that as well, and since he came in, he doesn't seem too good, doesn't seem too quick, he's still trying to find his feet, blah, 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 make excuses for him, stick the big guy on him and press him, but it's not like your Robertson. I know I was asking for him earlier, but it's not like Robertson's Pep Guardiola.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is,
our manager, I think, is under so much pressure for the fans. He's probably put a lot of pressure on himself by coming away with that quote October, November thing, and then I think it's just best for him that he goes. But unfortunately, I think he's going to have to stay. And he's looking for a style of football that's not conducive to playing in Scotland. That's how we need like a Robertson at Rangers, and you get you get him just to coach simply. And I think our manager's a bit naive.
We won the game out, but what I'm saying is the coach, with the tools he's got to offer, the tools we've got to offer, he still made it difficult for us. Derek McInnes played for a draw against us to stop us playing on a favourable surface for the home team, stole a victory because he set up to stop us playing because we're that predictable. There's a common thread. Bob, Jim?
No, certainly there's a common trend with these people up and down the league. You've seen it time and time again. They can organise a team. They're no great managers, they're good coaches, there's a difference. And I don't want any of the two of them managing Rangers, by the way, because we're a big club and we've got to drive forward all the time. Let's be honest here, Postecoglou proved it. Just drive forward these teams all the time and you can beat them. And we're not doing it. We're coming against people week after week. You've seen it on Sunday there. They had that the big fella up front. They gave the Rangers back for a nightmare. But I don't know. The standard here is no good. And like you said about wages, Ox, everybody's far outweighed us with money, and we can't bring people in. But what hurts me is that up the road they are bringing people in at 11 and 8, 9 and 10 million quid. All right, they've got money, fair enough, but they can what they're coming into and all. And they can't, they're guaranteed to win the league every year. And it's up to us to stop this, put a stop to it. I think that's as basic as that.
Right,
standards, well, no good.
Right, okay, we've reached that time in the evening. It's been really interesting. Right, last word for the one and only Smurf.
Good night, everybody, and onwards to the semi-final, and up at Rangers, I think we'll be all right. We'll come good, I think. Anyway, good night.
And your optimism, mate. And your optimism. Big Al.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call, gentlemen, and that's about it. Thanks for taking my call.
I'm impressed.
No surrender, mate. No surrender.
I'm impressed with the trainers, Al. I'm impressed with the trainers.
Hopefully they get delivered this week before I go back to work. I can wear them on
I'm
camp.
a ZX 600, man.
Oh, they're manky, man. Nah, they're all right.
They were the classics.
They were the classics, weren't they? I can see you with Adidas kick on.
No, me, mate. Never.
Right. Thanks very much, gentlemen. Take care.
Bob, where am I? Bob, Jack.
Hi, thanks for having me tonight again. Oh, it's really, really interesting show tonight. Then again, it always is. It's always interesting talking about the problems of Glasgow Rangers. Hopefully, this is a bad period we're going through and we can climb out the other side. I'm sure we can. So, all the best, everyone, and thanks for having me. And I'll probably see you next week. I'm going away for the weekend.
Cheers, mate. Take it easy,
Enjoy
mate.
yourself,
your
mate.
weekend.
And
Enjoy
by the
your
way,
weekend.
man, I'm with you here. When I was 20-year-old, I wasn't tired. I kept going at what I was doing. Well, there you go. Right, good night, everyone.
Oh, I remember the 20-year-old the gaffer told me go the road because of the state I was in all there. Mandy, in you come.
Well, thanks again, guys, for the call. I only catch you last week because I work 5 nights a week, but thank you so much. I'm always running here to catch it. And please, 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 Rangers, go out on Sunday, get us to the next round of the Cup. That's all we ask. If you don't win and you go out and you fight, we'll love you just the same. But please, please, on Sunday, go out and get us a result. Great show again, guys, and thank you so much for taking my call.
Cheers. Albert, good to hear from you, Mandy.
Aye, good show
Thank
tonight.
you.
Enjoyed that. Good to be on with Smurf, Mandy, Big Al, Bob, yourself and Bridge. Don't give up out there. Don't give up. Just keep going. Just keep going. We'll get through it.
Cheers, mate. Good debate, mate. Enjoyed it. Is he gone? Is
No,
he gone? No. I enjoyed it. I didn't like the way you hooked me in, but Bridgeman.
Oh, what can I say, Oxchair? It's been a great night. I thoroughly enjoyed the debate and the discussions, some great points. It's a sad the way to be able to talk about the way we are. It's a bit sad, See, it leaves a wee bit of sour taste in the mouth when we're talking about our own club like that. However, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thanks for carrying me through. To Old Bear, thank you, pal. And of course, the techie boys in the background. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, Sunday, semi-final day, we need to go out and do something. We need to win and win better than we've done before. Win. That's what I want. 1-0 for the Rangers. For me, I'll be very happy with that. And let's see how we got on. So everybody, keep it going for the Rangers because the Rangers need us. And so do they.
Thanks to Smurf and Big Al for joining us. Mandy, Bob Chair, and who have I missed out?
Smurf, Mandy, Big Al, Bob,
And thanks to Bridgeman and the one and only Albert for doing the show. Of course, Fox and Old School Blue in the background doing the technicals. Thanks to everybody for listening to Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. And I've just got a funny feeling the subject's not going to change. But just remember this. Just remember this. We are still the people. Take it away, Old School Blue.